Hey guys, it's Jill. I hope you're having a great day. Hey, I'm coming to you, as you can see, via video today. So this is a little different than my typical blog post, the written post. And so the reason why is because of our topic today. And the topic is overcoming obstacles. And you're probably thinking, what does that have to do with video? But it has to do with my own experience. I'm going through something right now. I'm trying to overcome an obstacle right now that is not allowing me to be on the computer much. And it has to do with this little implement too, which I just wanted to introduce to you and show to you, which I think is pretty cool. So last year I had an injury where I had a bulging disc, and then in turn it pinched on my nerve bundle, and I had all this arm pain and neck pain and back pain, and so it pretty much had me laid out, and I definitely was not feeling good when I was sitting down or even standing up and working on a computer. So that was last year, and I got better and felt better, and then it has reared its ugly head again, and it came back last week. I started experiencing the same type of pain, and this week especially even more. So I am doing this video though because I had set a goal when I started this blog that I wanted to be consistently providing good content, but being consistent, and that I wanted to post every single Saturday. And so because I'm not in a position to be typing on a computer and spending a lot of time on the computer any more than I have to right now, and I don't want to set myself back, I decided in trying to figure out how to overcome this obstacle, I decided that I would do a video post, and that would be easier for me. So hopefully what we'll talk about today though will help you, or maybe help you help someone else that is going through some sort of obstacle right now that they're trying to overcome, and that's the point of this. So we're going to talk about 5 different steps that could be helpful in this area. So let me just, before we get started on that, I'm going to show you this tool again. So again, I had this neck injury, and so part of my overcoming my obstacle is to get my neck better. And so I'm using this medieval looking contraption called a traction device, I think it's called. So what you do is you put your head through these 2 things, and then you take that Velcro and strap it over your forehead, and you lay on the floor, and then you pump this up to a certain pressure, and then it stretches your neck out, and it relieves the cervical, spinal things back there. It relieves it because they're taking them apart instead of squinching down on each other. So anyway, this is very helpful. So if you're having any issues, check out the traction device. But let's get back to every day. Every person has an obstacle that they are dealing with at some point in their life, and it could be something from dealing with something with your children. It could be something with your spouse or your siblings, and it could be something where maybe you've lost your job and you can't find another job, and that's a struggle. It could be something with a failing marriage. Whatever the obstacle is, we've all got them. It's just part of life, and we're not going to get away from it. So the best thing we could do is to find some good tools to help us get through these things, and maybe make it easier on us and help us to get through things. So I've got these 5 areas that I wanted to discuss, sort of 5 steps, and the first one of these would be to slow down and survey. So slow down and survey, meaning when we are when we have obstacles that come up on us, we might have a tendency, because it's either fearful or it makes us mad or it surprises us, whatever it is, we might have a tendency to sort of really take it and dramatize it, and I'm talking about myself here, make it seem bigger than it is, because it's scary, that it's looming and it's huge. But really, if you can slow down when you're faced with some sort of obstacle, slow down, take some deep breaths, and allow yourself to take a look at it and survey it, just like you're taking a look at the whole situation from kind of a perspective, like even like a 30,000 foot perspective, looking down on it and just seeing what parts are involved, how this is going to affect your life, and see if you can maybe have a little bit more clarity at looking at your situation. So the second thing would be to think outside yourself. So imagine you have a friend that calls you on the phone and you are asked to come to their house because they are freaking out over something. You run over there, they're in the middle of some sort of major obstacle and they can't think straight. Their brain is in a fog. They're upset, but you as the friend, the outsider, are able to maybe sit down and offer them some wise advice or some good suggestions on how to move forward or brainstorm with them. Well, think about if you could do that with yourself. So imagine if you're thinking outside yourself, if you can take a look at your situation. So you've done the first step, which is to slow down and survey. And then the second step is to take a look outside yourself. So again, look in on your own situation as something, as if it were a friend or something. So you're sort of detaching from it in order to gain some clarity. So try that. That might be hard in some situations, but if you can try to work towards that, it could be very helpful. The third thing would be to set a plan, to get some goals on and plan on how you're going to work through this, and then set up some measurable results. So if you've read my blog, you know that I'm a big fan of goal setting and setting up measurable results so that as you move forward you can see the progress that you've made. Imagine a mountain climber climbing up a mountain on a beautiful clear day, and they have to climb this mountain that's 10,000 feet high, and they can look back as they keep looking back and they can see all the progress they've made. And so how encouraging is that to think, oh, I've made it halfway, I'm 3/4 of the way, that type of thing, versus that same mountain climber. Imagine they looked back and they were all fogged in and they could only see 6 inches behind them or 2 feet or whatever it is, and they just couldn't see the progress that they'd made. It's going to be harder for them to get to the top because they also are looking forward and they probably can't see how far they have to go. And so if you can set up some sort of measurable results where you can see your results and you can see the successes and the strides that you've made, you will be very encouraged by that. And believe me, and if you keep that stuff written down, you'll be able to look back and see how far you've come, and that's a big deal. So the fourth step would be to take the first step. So oftentimes we'll get some clarity on what we're going through, kind of figure out a game plan on how to overcome this obstacle, and then we have got these goals and we've on all this, but we just don't take the next step. We don't take that first step. If it's fear, whatever the reason is, it doesn't matter necessarily, but it's just the fact that we just have to take that first step. And even if it's an itty bitty tiny baby step, that is okay. It's a forward motion. It's moving towards the goal that you have, and it's moving out and away from this place that you don't want to be. So the last thing would be to every day to find things that you're grateful for. So no matter what your circumstances are and no matter what the obstacle that you are dealing with is, we can all find something to be grateful for. So in my situation, when I'm with this medieval contraption here every day, 3-4 times a day, as much as I can do this, I think as I'm laying, if I'm at home, like in the morning before I go to work, I'm laying there, and this morning, and I was thinking, oh, I'm so thankful I have this rug that I can lay on instead of the hard wood floor or concrete floor. I was so grateful that I had that little bit of comfort, even amidst the pain and all that. And so whatever it might just be to, you're going to have to figure out something to be grateful for. But all of us, if it's that I was able to have a cold drink of water this morning, or if you were able to sleep more than 3 hours last night, sleeping 3.5 hours is not great, but it's better than sleeping 2 hours. So if you can just try to look at that and have some sort of gratitude, and that's another important thing to write down too, is your gratitude, because you'll be amazed when you look back over the years, if you've kept a list of this, even if it's 1, 2, 3 things a day, to look back and see the things that you were grateful for. That's a good way of measuring progress as well, and just make you feel more grateful as you read back through that if you ever check back on that. So I hope that this could be of some sort of help to you today and maybe some encouragement, and I appreciate you spending the time with me this morning. And we will talk to you soon. And by the way, I'm just curious to see what you thought of this experience of the video. So let me know in the comments on the blog if you like the video experience, if you prefer the written, and just give me some feedback. I'd appreciate it. Thanks, and have a great day. Bye.